Welcome back, guys. Christmas is over and now we are going back to daily business. Bitcoin might be here on the verge to make a massive move to the upside. I will show you the exact targets that I'm looking at and if Bitcoin can actually manage to stay up there. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Friday. Almost forgot which day it actually is. Because every day for me is the same day. I get always confused with these days. I feel a little bit better, but not that much better. I still feel a little bit, how to say that? Not full energized, but anyway, I had to come out with what I was seeing here today. We're going to start off here with the DXY. Sorry, I have something in my mouth, so that I don't need to cough all the time. So apologies for that if you hear that a little bit. So the DXY is trying to stay below the 108 point level here. That gives a little bit relief to risk on assets and to that matter, Bitcoin counts to it. Also altcoins counts to it. And as long as we are keeping here this downwards trajectory, into the new year, we should see Bitcoin trying to reclaim the $100,000 mark. So now we jump straight here into Bitcoin on the weekly chart. I'm not really concerned about how the weekly chart is looking. Even if the candle would stay the way as it is right now, I would expect next week, the first weekly candle in the new year, to be a massive upside candle. Most likely reclaiming the whole move to the downside, or most of that move immediately. You're gonna see next week, or with this week's close actually, that the stochastic will also start to turn around on the weekly chart. And you'll see it here already, if I change here the colorization and make it a little bit thicker, that the RSI, oh sorry guys, that's a little bit too big, that the RSI is already bouncing off the moving average that we are seeing here within the RSI. So here, look at this. So here, now you can see it pretty clear, so we are bouncing off of that already. That is a bullish indication for continuation to the upside if we close at current levels the weekly candle. So we have still 2.5 days left for that. I'm not really worried about that, that we will come here somewhere back into the low $90,000 levels and see next week then a move like that here, so I'm definitely not expecting that. If that would be the case, then we have to change our plan and also change gear here, because then this whole area here might become a big deviation where we go one more time lower and then go back up. But also for that, I don't believe that there's a high probability for this to be playing out, because this is the second week of a corrective phase in a bull run. These corrective phases, they usually don't last longer than 2-3 weeks. We are at the end of the second week right now, so that means by the third week, maximum by the fourth week, we see a big reversal and continuation to the upside. When we go now here into the 1 hourly chart, now that drop becomes a little bit uncomfortable on that side. So here on the 1 hourly chart, we have here a bullish ascending, a broadening wedge here in yellow. We tried to break above it already. Now we are fighting again with that resistance level of $96,500. We are slightly below that currently. The stochastic is already turning around. The RSI pointing to the downside. So we might come here a little bit lower before we see finally the break here with continuation to the upside. We could come back down here to around $96,000, so nothing crazy in my opinion. That would be the mid-range of that broadening wedge. We touch this one more time, and then it's upwards and onwards based here on what I see on the 1 hourly chart. Also, the trading range that we are in is sitting at the same exact level at $96,540. If we reclaim the mid-range, we will go all the way up to the top of the range, which is at $99,500 approximately right now. On the 12-hourly chart, here we got another rejection from the EMA ribbon. Again, the more rejections we are getting, the the worse it actually is for Bitcoin. So, but I can here also tell you that the turnaround is here already in progress, because we only need to look at the stochastic RSI that we are about to print a buy signal. We look at the MACD. There is almost no selling there anymore on the histogram. Look here, the current candle is slightly sometimes already flipping into the green. We get also here a buy signal with the next 12-hourly candle close, and the RSI is just going sideways because we are under the point of control here at $97,400 approximately, and in the almost at the mid-range of that VPVR cluster. Don't forget, guys, as long as we are below the point of control and below the EMA ribbon, both act as resistance. So we need a move above $98,000 and close the 12-hourly candle there to get this continuation move. But also this might be already in the works right now. So I have seen signs here in the chart that are pointing to the fact, not only from the stochastic and from the MACD here on the 12-hourly chart, also from lower time frames, that we are already in progress of turning around here and to get above the EMA ribbon on the 12-hourly, which will open up the possibility to move here all the way back up into the top of the range here of $102,600. When we go to ZoomX, then here my Bitcoin trade is still doing well, so I'm still roughly $50,000 here sitting in profit currently. Unrealized, of course, I have not taken any profit here. I still have limit orders below the current price, just in case, just in case if something happens. Again, if you want to trade with me on ZoomX, guys, there is a link in the description. You can still get $45,000 worth of deposit bonuses, and you can use ZoomX where you cannot use Bybit. So that means US, Canada, India, parts of Europe, wherever you cannot use Bybit, you can use ZoomX. You're not forced to complete KYC on this platform, guys, So, and for me, it has almost the same feeling like trading on Bybit, which is amazing, so take advantage of that. So now, when I go here into the 4-hourly chart, then we are, of course, still below that big resistance block here. Here's the only thing that here we can point out is that we need to get above that supply area here of 99,600 all the way down to 98,000. What is this? $300 approximately. So once we are breaking through this, there's not much stopping Bitcoin to reclaim here $102,000. I don't believe on the way up that this area here will give us a lot of resistance, but there might be another area just here above. And we have a lot of confluence around that area, and that is here the $102,600, $700 mark. That will give us some resistance on the way into the higher 100,000 levels once again. So here on the MDX algo scalp gradients, also here we have lost the golden ratio again. We tried right now to break back into it. We are back in a blue phase, which is not the worst here. Wait, 1 second. 1 second. There you go. There you go. There we go. So, yeah, so we are back in the blue phase. Here I'm waiting for the next 4-hourly candle in 2 hours to get a little bit more direction based on the MDX algo gradients. So in case that we print a green candle, get ready that we get one more flush here, most likely into the weekly open. In the worst case scenario, guys, into the weekly open. From there, you're going to see the turnaround here back to the upside. If we are continuing to warm up on the gradients, then we're most likely going to see a reclaim of the golden ratio, and then we're going to get the continuation. So based here on the reactor indicator, I would say we are ready for continuation here to the upside. Here, the most important level to watch would be $97,500 here on the super trend, which is currently still bearish on the MDX algo. But as soon as we reclaim that level, that flips back into green, so that will then also signal continuation in confluence with the candles heating up here once again. On the liquidation levels, so here some of the high leveraged short positions got actually closed. Some people took here profits. That's why you see here not so bright colors anymore. Currently, you see here the Bitcoin is trying to reclaim the 50 moving average. Once we are reclaiming that, we're going to move really, really quickly here into the 200 moving average at around $98,300. and by that the 50 will turn around, create another buy signal. So here that def cross is just a fake out. I would not put too much weight on that. You're going to see that here over the next couple hours that the 50 will turn around. That put again upwards pressure on Bitcoin, and that will then also initiate the short squeezes here into the remaining high leverage liquidity on the short side into $100,700 and here all the way up into $105,000 approximately. So just give it a couple more days and we should be definitely out of the woods here. Something to mention here, guys, that around New Year's Eve, really important, guys, around New Year's Eve, I expect volatility, massive volatility. Let me actually show you on a new chart this. So I want to do this on a new chart and remove here everything. So also here volume gone. I'm not sure. Let me actually try. So I'm gonna need a Bitstamp chart, I need a daily chart, and I need a bull run year. Because I remember that I've seen this around the new year. So, and we're gonna put there a horizontal line. So there's one, and I want one here from 2020. In one of these 2 years, I've seen volatility. So let's see if we can see it on the daily chart. Yeah, we can actually see it here. In this one, we can see it. So look at this, guys. What happened? So now I move that line away. So now we go a little bit into candlestick theory again, how they are working. So you see here we have a wick here to the upside. So that means at some point where the candle opened, so the candle opened at $46,250, then moved all the way up to $48,667, went all the way down to, what was the low point here, to $45,600, and then closed at $47,071. $47,071. That was the closing price of this candle. So you see, in that New Year's candle, there was a lot of volatility upside down here. From top to bottom, there was a 6% move during that day. So just to show you what to expect potentially around New Year's Eve, because it is a yearly candle that we are closing, guys, you know. So, and bears and bulls, they are fighting massively to either suppress the price or to have the price as high as possible. So around that yearly candle, I expect massive volatility. It can happen that the candle stays flat. I've also seen that, but it's usually in a bull run year, a lot of volatility in these candles. And I think here in this year, we also saw that. Yeah, look at this here. They're also the same, you know, so just the other way around there, it was more bullish because that was in a bull run where we saw that also here. And we opened at $28,970, went all the way down to $27,900. Again, a $2,000 move, which was actually crazy on that day from top to bottom. Oh, not that crazy, roughly 5%, so that's fine. At the high point we were at $29,300 approximately. So again, you see here we have a wick to the upside, a wick to the downside, small candle body. The other year we had something similar like that. So that's why I'm saying, guys, you know, so we could get a massive move in both directions during the end of the year when we print that yearly candle. So, wait, again. So now, so I don't need this anymore. So when we go now into the liquidation heat map, let's also have a look at it that quick. What happened here over the last week, where liquidity is currently sitting. So you see here, there would be an argument, you know, a small argument that we could come back down here to $94,160 because here is some liquidity sitting down below here. But here's a big but: the majority of liquidity is sitting above us, you know. So when you look here, here's alone $81 million worth of liquidity here in the brightest area at $100,099, and then all the way up here to $101,400 approximately. There's even more liquidity. So if I had to add up this all together, there's roughly over $200 million worth of liquidity sitting just above us. Also here slightly around the $99,500 level. So from there, I actually would expect the short squeeze into that $100,100 mark. From there, we could get a small retracement below $100,000 again, and then we shoot higher to take out all the liquidity that's still sitting here above the current price. Now, when we go to Bybit, you see I still have my Bitcoin trade open. I keep buying into this trade, you know, so the lower we go, the more I gonna buy. So here I actually missed it because I was in cinema, you know, so when that pump happened, otherwise I would have bought also down here, but that's fine. So if we, like I said, if we for some weird reason come one more time down, I'm gonna buy again here and average down my my price. Otherwise, I'm not really concerned about my liquidation price, and I can always add more money to my trade if I really need to, you know. So, and if you can use Bybit, guys, in your country, sign up on Bybit. There is a new campaign coming out, guys, so make sure that you have a Bybit account. You also still get there $30,000 worth of deposit bonuses. Do I have this actually here with me right now? No, I don't have it with me. And also, guys, make use of the Bybit debit card if you can, you know. So I have the Bybit debit card. It's amazing, you know, you get up to 10% cash back on that card. I use it daily for mostly my normal spending, you know, so like for groceries and all that kind of stuff. I don't have a bank account anymore, you know, so I only use my Bybit card, so which is amazing. Now, when we look at altcoins, here on the Bitcoin dominance, so we see here we are following the fractal exactly as we laid it out. We are getting close to break the 58% mark here. Also, the way that we're going down here is healthy currently, guys, you know, so that's what I wanted to see, and that was also what I explained to you, you know, so that I don't want to get massive candles like this here to the downside, you know, that we basically within 4 days go here below 50% or something like that, you know. So of course that would be massive for our altcoin backs, but you have to remember the same volatility that we go down, you know, the same violent way that we go down, the same violent way we're also going to turn around, you know, when the dominance is bouncing. And for that simple reason, I like to go here in staircases down, you know, exactly what we do right now, because that is healthy and our altcoin backs are still enjoying the ride, you know. So, but of course, we're going to get at some point some bigger candles here again to the downside. But yeah, so in the best case scenario, we get some consolidation in between before we get a next leg to the downside, consolidation, next leg to the downside. But when do we ever get what we want, you know? So that's unfortunately usually not the case, you know? So let's see how this is going to play out. For now, I'm watching that 58% level that potentially is going to break by tomorrow and will then put some nice gains into the end of the year on our altcoins. So the total free market cap also broke back into that support box here. Now the next move should get us all the way up to $1.04 trillion with the pullback following afterwards, slightly afterwards, and then we're gonna get our continuation by the first or second week of January, guys, you know. So of course our altcoins will regain a substantial amount when we are back at $1.04 trillion total free market cap. But what we want is that we actually break here above $16 trillion with continuation to the upside, because that was our all-time high, guys. That was the all-time high. We want to get above that and get continuation into $1.4, $1.5 trillion and even higher than that. So now when we look at Ethereum is still consolidating in that ascending triangle here. We also get closer now to the breakout point where we should get a move out of this. Remember, so this is kind of like the optimal time window to get out of it, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so that is kind of the window where you want to get out of it. That would put us here to Monday, so over the weekend, so if it would be happening between tomorrow morning and Monday morning, that is the perfect time window where we could see Ethereum breaking out. Points that are actually are in our favor for that is also the MACD about to print a buy signal for hourly chart, the RSI turning around, the stochastic RSI not looking that great, to be honest, but this is just due to the fact that we are facing resistance here from the golden ratio at $3,430. Once we are above that, the stochastic should have a nicer angle here and a sharp angle back to the upside. Solana, here nothing really has changed on that daily chart. We are still here in the fifth leg. That can take a little bit, so it could stretch like chewing gum until we get here to a point where we get acceleration in the candle to the upside here again. And that has multiple reasons. For once, we have here a resistance at $200. We are facing currently here that underlying resistance level, that above hanging resistance level of $190 to $193. And once these levels are broken, we're going to start seeing acceleration here again to the upside. But only then, and until then, it could stretch a little bit like chewing gum, So, but the indicators are also telling us clearly that Solana is ready to turn around. The RSI is turning around. MACD about to print a buy signal after an extensive period of selling. So don't forget that, So we were here now over a month putting selling pressure on Solana. So this is, in my opinion, coming to an end in the next 2-3 days. In the next 2 to 3 days, and then we're gonna get here a really nice and juicy move back to the upside. Guys, also don't forget, I will give away tomorrow, after tomorrow, again, 2 times $500 here on Alpha X. So make sure, if you want to trade decentralized with your MetaMask wallet or with your Trust wallet or whatever other wallet you're using, to stand a chance to sign up there, deposit $100 to be eligible for the giveaway. And also don't forget, you get $100 just for signing up there, guys. So take advantage of that. Take all the money that you get for free from these exchanges. So I'm going to go through some altcoins, not a lot of altcoins. So just that you know, guys. Arweave was not on my list. Lido was on my list. So Lido is actually one of the coins that is moving here really, really nicely today. Let me actually put this on the daily chart. Look at this daily candle. So here, today we are up 11.4% on Lido. So there's a really, really nice move here. We're about to break this downward sloping resistance line. We're currently slightly sitting above that. So, but if you want to enter a Lido trade, I would wait for a break of $1.98 approximately. You can start laddering into a position here once that is happening. Remember, guys, we ladder into positions. We are not going all in at once, So, and then you wait a little bit, So if it goes to $2.05, $2.13, you keep adding. And after $2.13, I would not add that much anymore, So if you get pullbacks from there, you add on these pullbacks. If for some weird reason you're going to get another 10-15% candle here to the upside into that resistance level, once we are breaking above that, that's the last moment where you keep adding to this position, because then we gonna go really fast in the direction of $3 and $3.35, potentially also into new all-time high here on Lido in the coming weeks, because on the daily chart, everything is signaling that a bigger move here is looming for Lido. And also Casper today turning around. I still wait here for a completion of a rounding bottom on Casper. So for that to be happening, we need to get above 12 cents, even a little bit higher, 12 cents, 0.2 is the level that I would be watching out for. If we once we are getting a candle above 12 cents, 0.2, I would start laddering into a position here all the way up to 13 cents. There I would stop. And then I would let this ride here into 21 cents, the target, guys, because also here, look, we had an extensive period of selling here now on Casper on the way down. That was now over, almost 3 weeks going on. And look here at the stochastic RSI, so this is insane. I have not seen this on the daily chart for a long time, something like this. So there is definitely also a bigger move just looming, you know, so and most likely coming out of nowhere in the next couple of days. Then Fantom, I have to apologize, guys, you know, so we were sleeping on the wheel with Fantom, all of us, not only me, you know, so all of us. The Sonic upgrade already happened over a week ago. So why did I not see this? Because at that time I was traveling to my friend to Phuket and did not pay attention to the news, you know, so the Sonic upgrade is live, you know, since when? And that was why we got a massive spike since over here. That was the spike for the Sonic upgrade, guys. That was it. That's it. That was the big move here in Sonic. That you can go back and check, you know. So I checked today to make sure that it's happening today on the Sonic page, and I saw it happen on the 18th already, their Sonic upgrade. So they, for whatever reason, they pulled it 9 days ahead of time. I don't know why. Maybe because of the holidays. Who knows, you know. So, but they basically launched earlier than expected. And that was the move, guys. You know, so when you look at the whole day, I don't know where the kind of started on that day. It started like at $1.26 or something, you know, so it went almost up 10% here in that move, 8% to the upside before it then started to come down. But the nice thing about this is that the sell-off from that Sonic upgrade is almost over here. And after the sell-off comes the reclaim. So the reclaim will be fast, guys, you know, so if you're still in a Fantom position, don't worry. I also keep still my Fantom position, and I'm not worried about this, you know, so of course, if I get back into break even, most likely I'm gonna close the position because of the switch to Sonic from Fantom, you know, so, but once that switch is done, on some exchanges that will be done on the 3rd of January, on some it will be on the 10th of January, the earlier I get it somewhere, the earlier I gonna do it, and just gonna switch then, and then gonna take advantage of that reclaim back to the upside. The next one is Link. So Link also ready to turn around here. Here I want to see to start laddering into a position, a move above $23.80, or coming back down here to the downward sloping trend line at around 21 cents. But I think we're going to get the ladder. Then Sui still sitting here above the 0.786 at $4.24. Every time when we come down here to that level, I would add just a little bit, guys, to my position. Or if I would not have a position, I would opening here a small position, guys, you know, start laddering into it, and the higher we go, keep adding to it, or in case that we come closer to the golden ratio, all the way down to the bottom of the golden ratio, I would keep adding to this position, and slightly here between around $3.98, there's where I would cut the position, you know. So don't do this with too much leverage, guys. 5x maximum, max, you know, so maximum 5x. I would actually do it with 3x just to make sure that I would not get liquidated. So I'm gonna have a quick look at DOT. So WIF, I would keep my hands off WIF right now. Let me tell you why. Because as long as Solana is bleeding, WIF will keep bleeding. And every single small move from Bitcoin has a massive effect on meme coins. Meme coins are not the meta right now anymore. So I'm not saying that they will not do well in this bull run, you know, so, but WIF is a coin that I would currently not touch. So let me have a look here. Oh, my nose tickling again like crazy. So let's have a look here at DOT. Come on, give me the DOT chart. Crazy. So with DOT, so there is a falling wedge on the daily chart. So I would be watching that falling wedge. So once it breaks here out of the falling wedge, there I would open my position. So that would be a break above $7.50, $7.60. That would be the range that I would be looking at. Yes, you're gonna miss out on like 4, 5, 6%. But if you want to have a safe level to enter, that is unfortunately the level that you need to be on the lookout, you know, $7.50, $7.60 with a 4-hourly candle close, you know, so that's where you want to enter. And don't forget, the top of the falling wedge is the target. So there's more than enough profit to be made here, even if you initially from the current level would miss like 5, 6, 7%, you know, so you still would make your 56% on that move. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in here on that day after Christmas. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you most likely tomorrow with more profits. Bye-bye.